the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtained a good report. But without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. By faith Moses, when he was born, was hid 3 months of his parents because they saw he was a proper child, and they were not afraid of the king's commandment. By faith Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of God than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season, esteeming the reproach of Christ greater riches than the treasures in Egypt, for he had respect unto the recompense of the reward. By faith he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king, for he endured, as seeing him who is invisible. Through faith he kept the Passover and the sprinkling of blood, lest he that destroyed the firstborn should touch them. By faith they passed through the Red Sea as by dry land, which the Egyptians are saying to do were drowned. But without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Al-Shah, by Hashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great example to his younger brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, by Hashem, Al-Shah, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh by Shem Al-Shah, man. You know, and we here, man. You know, it's the time of Yahweh Shah, man. You know, and it's just a beautiful feeling. You know, I know, you brothers and sisters, reverence, the Passover. And when you go into the scriptures, well, we have to understand that this whole book is centered around the first and second coming of Yahweh Shah, okay? And I want to start here in the book of Psalm chapter 40, okay, verse 7. It says, then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me, okay? So Yahweh Shah is interwoven, okay, throughout the whole scripture. There's a lot of things, and a lot of, even our traditions and our cultures and our custom was a foreshadow of Yahweh Shah. Okay, and that Passover was the biggest, representation of Yahweh Shah, because it had to do with a sacrifice and the deliverance, okay, and also a victory, over the enemy, a victory over bondage, okay, physical bondage and also a spiritual bondage, all right, and Yahweh Shah represents all that, man. I pray you brothers, and you few sisters, man, had a, spiritual Pesach, may Yahweh B'Shem Al-Shah, pass us over, as, he sends that judgment throughout the earth, it's going to go through the house of the wicked. And right now, Esau, Edom is the ruler of the whole earth, man. So judgment is going to go throughout the earth, okay? And we want to be covered, and that's through that lamb. All right, Yahweh Shah. Now, let's start off at Exodus chapter 12. All right. It's in Exodus 12 and 4. Well, I started at 3. It says, speak you unto the congregation of Israel, saying in the 10th day of this month, all right, they shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your account for the lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. Ye shall take it out from the sheep, okay, or from the goats. So the lamb was to be without blemish. And that's why Yahweh Shai came and lived that perfect life, okay, so he will qualify as that lamb without blemish, okay, and he was offered up by the Father for our sakes. You see that? You know, and that's why he asked the Father, was there another way? And you know, he was in the flesh, but he didn't get no response because he knew what he had to do. Like the scripture say, it behooved him. Okay? And that showed the love of the Most High towards Israel is that sacrifice he made of his son. Okay? And it says, and ye shall keep it until the 14th day of the same month, and whose assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. Now, let's get there in the gospel. Okay? Because this lines up directly. All right? Let me see. I might have to go to the chapter. Scan it real quick. Okay, cool. Let's go to Luke. Okay, because you would kill, you know, the lamb that evening. All right. Now, let me see. Now, look how, you know, this account is set up when you go Luke 22:1. Okay. Now, read this. When you read this account and see how it lines up with the, you know, the ancient Passover ceremony. It says, now the feast of unleavened bread drew nigh, which is called the Passover. And the chief priests and the scribes sought how they might kill him, for they feared the people. See, the Most High had it set up where our people was plotting on to kill Yahushua, but it was meant for him to be killed because he was the Passover. You see, around the time of the Passover, that's when pretty much Yahushua green lighted, you know, the death, you know, of Yahushua, because it was that time, because he was that Passover lamb. All right, and you see how now he's going to manipulate both sides of the of the game. Verse 3 said, then entered Satan into Judas, surnamed Iscariot, being of the number of the 12, because it was time for Yahushua to be betrayed so he could be that lamb, okay, that evening. Okay, and it says, and he went his way and communed with the chief priests and the captains, how he might betray him unto them, and they were glad and covenanted, all right, to give him money. And he promised and sought opportunity to betray him unto them in the absence of the multitude. Then came the day of unleavened bread, when the Passover must be killed. You see how they line up with the ancient Passover? So you see how the Most High played it? Because Yahushua was that sacrifice. So he set the scenario for Yahushua to be killed at evening, just as you would kill the actual lamb at evening. Okay? Then came the day of unleavened bread, when the Passover must be killed. And he said, now this is Yahushua. So you see how the Most High manipulating both sides. He allowed Satan to jump on Judas, and now he's putting the spirit on Yahushua to start going with his move, start making his preparations. Okay? It says, and he sent Peter and John, saying, go and prepare us the Passover, that we may eat. All right? It says, and they said unto him, where wilt thou that we prepare? And he said unto them, behold, when ye are entered into the city, there shall a man meet you, bearing a pitcher of water. Follow him into the house where he entereth in, and ye shall say unto the good man of the house, the master said unto thee, where is the guest chamber where I shall eat the Passover with my disciples? And he shall show you a large upper room furnished there. Make ready. And they went, okay, and found as he had said unto them, and they made ready the Passover. And when the hour was come, he sat down, and the 12 apostles with him. And listen to what Yahushua says, okay, showing you that Yahweh, man, if we of that number, brothers, you know, Yahushua has special interest in us, man. Lord will we of that number, man, and we, you know, gotta be humble with it, you know, and be proud, you know, think of ourselves too much, man, you know, but it's just a comforting feeling to know, man, Yahushua, he's really hands-on, you know, with his brethren, man, you know. Now you read verse 15, and it says, and he said unto them, with desire have I desired to eat this Passover with you before I suffer. Okay? Before he suffered. And he knew that he was the sacrifice. But he desired, all right, to be with them before he suffered. Okay? That's why you read Hebrews, we always get it. Y'all know, you know, where we going. This Hebrews 12:2. Looking unto Yahushua, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross before his suffering. And he knew that when he endured the cross, man, that would open it up. First it would free us from the bondage, okay, of sin. Okay? Now that doesn't mean that we're perfect in the flesh, but our intent is to be righteous now. You know? We have flaws in the flesh, but our intent, okay, we desire to be righteous now, man. Okay? We desire to treat our brother in a particular way. Okay? You have women that are desiring, you know, their role as women. You see? We desire to see wickedness be judged, man. We desire to see righteousness established where everyone has to obey, okay, Yahweh B'Shem Al-Shai. And what did that mind frame come from? Yahushua. You see? He started that. That's why I say he's the author, all right, which goes into a pioneer and the finisher of our faith, man. Okay? And it says, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of the Most High. Okay? So, let's read Luke 22, and then we're going to go back to Exodus, man. But you see, you know, how spiritual it is, how this links up, man. The Passover was him the whole time, but they didn't fully get it, you know. And it says, and he said unto them, with desire have I desired to eat this Passover with you before I suffer. For I say unto you, I will not any more eat thereof until it be fulfilled in the kingdom of the Most High. Okay? And we want, hey, we got to fight to make it to that feast, man. That marriage supper of the Lamb. Okay? You know, we got to get that. But there's going back to Exodus 12. Okay, and 7, and it says, and they shall I started at 6. It says, and you shall keep it until the 14th day of the same month, and the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. And remember, there was Israelites saying, crucify him, crucify him. You know, the congregation killed the lamb. You see? It says, and they shall take of the blood and strike it on the 2 side posts and the upper door posts of the houses wherein they shall eat. And they shall eat the flesh in their night, roast with fire, and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it. Eat not of it raw, nor sodden at all with water, but roast with fire, his head with his legs, and with the pertinence thereof. And ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning, and that which remain of it until the morning ye shall burn with fire. And thus shall you eat it with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand, and ye shall eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover. Okay? So, what did Yahushua say? All right? Let me see. With your loins girded. Okay? I believe that's in Luke as well. Maybe Luke 12. Yep. What Yahushua say? All right, this is Luke 12 and 34. Said, for wherever, said, for your treasure is, there will your heart be also. It says, let your loins be girded about and your lights burning. So you supposed to eat of this in haste. And you see how pretty much like when the apostles would like do 2 videos, then they say do 3 videos, then they do videos every day. That's pretty much telling the congregation to eat Yahushua in haste, because we finna get out of here. All right, we're eating Yahushua, all right, as we digest this word. Okay, we're eating him in haste with our loins girded, ready to go. Okay, whatever position, what type of status we got in life, it's cool, you know. We live our little day-to-days, all right? Hey, well, when it's time, hey, we ready to go. We ready to move. Our loins is girded, which means what? We're ready, all right, to move forward, man, to move to the next, all right, phase of this thing, man. Okay? And we're partaking of Yahushua. All right, we're eating of Yahushua, man. All right? In spirit. By what? Digesting this word, man. Okay? Let's get that in Luke. Luke had a hell of a account. Okay? No, it's John. It's John. Get that in John. It's John 6 and all right, this is John 6 and 47. It says, verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me have everlasting life. I am the bread of life, man. And Yahushua is that unleavened bread. Okay? There's no flaw, okay, in this doctrine of Yahushua, man. You know? This is their pure doctrine. Their pure wisdom. You see? It says, your fathers did eat manna in the wilderness and are dead. This is the bread which cometh down from heaven, that a man may eat thereof and not die. See, you had the manna that came down, the scripture call it angel food, but it was carnal bread. See, Yahushua came down from the spiritual realm, but he was that what? That spiritual bread. And we're partaking, okay, by digesting this word, which is leading us to immortality. Okay? The wisdom and the instructions and the mindset that Yahushua through this word is putting us in is gearing us towards immortality, man. Okay? This bread, we're not going to die off of this bread. They died. There was physical bread, but this spiritual bread is gonna bring us to a change. Okay? And it says, I am the living bread which came down from heaven. If any man eat of this bread, he shall live forever. And that bread that I will give is my flesh, which I will give for the life of the world of Israel. Beginning with the elect. The Jews therefore strove among themselves, saying, how can this man give us his flesh to eat? It was going over their head. Okay? But he's matter of fact, why was it going over their head? Okay? Let's see if a brother put that precept Quick question to brother. Why was that going over their head? What precept, okay, what precept comes to mind? They couldn't get it. Okay? It was straight over their heads. It was too much. Okay? Because the spiritual man, the carnal man can't understand spiritual things. Okay? They thought he was talking about actual cannibalism. You know? Well, but why couldn't they get it? You know? Real quick question. What's a precept that explains why they couldn't get it? Give you brothers a few seconds. Yep, that's a good one. Yep, but there's another one too. Okay. This the brother Yashima tribe of Judah. John 10:27. Hold on. Try to make it stay. Brother, lighten it up. Hold on, brother. This is John 10:27 said, "My sheep hear my voice, okay, and I know them and they follow me." Okay, that's a good one. Was another one I was looking for. Okay. Let me see. I think this brother got it. Hold on. Yep, this is it right here. Benjamin's off paper. Okay. This is Matthew 13:11. It says, "He answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but unto them it is not given." Okay, that's the one I was looking for. Now all them other ones good too. You know, you brothers right on point. But that's the one I was looking for. See, it wasn't given to them to know the mystery, so that's why they were thinking about actual cannibalism. Okay? But they didn't understand the mysteries of the kingdom. Like, nah, this is the way. They didn't get it. Okay? It says, whoso eateth my flesh, all right, and he knew this was gonna be a stumbling block. Okay? It said, then Yahushua said unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you, except you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you have no life in you. Whosoever eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood have eternal life, and I will raise him up at the last day. You see that? I will raise him up at the last day, and we've been spiritually awakened in these times. Okay? Through a belief. The believers back then are back now and are awakening, okay, in these latter days in the spirit. And even those that have to physically die for the testimony of Yahushua, he gonna physically raise them up that died in him. Okay, why? Because we partook in that flesh and blood. Okay, and that bread and that wine, that's what they represented. We partook in that. Okay, we're partaking in his sufferings. You see? What does it say? Let me see. No, let's get that in 2 Timothy. What does it say? We're partaking in those suffering, man. Okay, this is 2 Timothy 2 and 11. It says, I started at 10. It said, therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake, that they may also obtain the salvation which is in Yahushua HaMashiach with eternal glory. It is a faithful saying, for if we be dead with him, we also shall live with him. If we suffer, we shall also reign with him. If we deny him, he also will deny us. Okay? So we're partaking in their sufferings, and we have a belief that through his sufferings, okay, we're going to be delivered. We're forgiven. Okay? And their forgiveness is going to lead to what? A deliverance. Okay? So what we partook in yesterday was symbolic. You know, last night, you know, at sundown, what we partook in was the flesh and blood, that suffering of Yahushua. That's why you got to get them bitter herbs. You know? That's that affliction, man. Okay? That's that straight gate. And because it's gonna get way more uncomfortable, man. But we gotta partake in it. We gotta drink of that cup, man. Okay? The lamb. That cause the main entree, all right, was what? The lamb. The main entree of the scriptures is the lamb, Yahushua. Okay? When John the Baptist seen him, the spirit was on him to call it straight out. This is 1 John 1:29 says, the next day John seeth Yahushua coming unto him and said, behold, the Lamb of the Most High, which taketh away the sin of the world. Okay? And that's beginning, the world is Israel, and that's beginning with the elect, those that are partaking, okay, in that bread and that wine, which is symbolic of their flesh and blood, which goes back to what? The new covenant. And this new covenant will require what? A standard. Okay? And we have to have a belief, in order for us to change our whole life, okay, take losses, prepare to lose it all, the mindset the body was in when they came with the juice, okay? Hey, brothers and sisters, we're pretty much geared up with the mindset to lose it all, man. Because of what? Our belief in what? This flesh and blood, man. Okay, Yahushua. Okay? Understanding what? That hopefully we covered, man. Now it says, Matthew 26 and 26, it says, and as they were eating, Yahushua took bread and blessed it and brake it and gave it to the disciples and said, take, eat, this is my body. Okay? And we eat Yahushua through the scriptures, man. He comes in the volume of the book. Okay? And he took the cup and gave thanks and gave it to them, saying, drink ye all of it, for this is my blood of the New Testament. Okay? That sacrifice led to what? A New Testament. You see? Which is shed for many for the remission of sins. You see that? That sacrifice for the forgiveness of sins. And so it's like the Most High closed out that old covenant. He closed that tab out. Yahushua, he pretty much balanced the books. If you know kind of a little bit about accounting, Yahushua pretty much balanced the books, man. All right? He got that old covenant squared away through his blood. And now, all right, we have a grace period, and we pray to partake in this new covenant, man, which is the law, statutes, and commandments being put in us, man. That changing of the twinkling of an eye. Okay? Verse 29 said, but I say unto you, I will not drink henceforth of the fruit of the vine until the day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom. Okay? And we want to make it to what? What is he speaking of? Let's get that in Revelation 19. What ceremony is he speaking of? Okay. All right. Now this is Revelation 19:7. It said, let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb, you see that, is come, and his wife have made herself ready. And to her was granted that she would be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white, for the fine linen is the righteousness of the saints, man. This is our covering. Okay? Who we are, that's our covering. It's a conduct. Okay? It's a mindset, it's a discipline. You see? That's that fine linen. We're being decked out by this word, this instruction, the way that this word is cleansing us. We're becoming what? Pure. Okay? And it's a constant work in progress until Yahushua. And it says, and to her was granted that she would be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white, for the fine linen is the righteousness of the saints. And he said unto me, right, blessed are they which are called unto the marriage supper of the Lamb. And that's when Yahweh Shai gonna drink that wine with us, man. This is the ceremony he was speaking of, that marriage supper of the Lamb. It's gonna be like a wedding reception, man. Okay. And he said unto me, these are the true sayings of the Most High. All right. And all these things, that we're seeing is a shadow of things, all the things that we've seen in the ancient, the ancient Passover ceremony. First Passover in Egypt, was all leading up to this of Yahweh Shai. Okay. Let's read this in Hebrews 10:1. It said, for the law, having a shadow of things to come, and not the very image of the thing, can never with those sacrifices which they offer year by year continually make the comers thereunto perfect. Okay? There was no perfection in that old priesthood. Okay? But under Yahweh Shai, we're being groomed for perfection, to be perfect. Okay? That's why you read Philippians 1. Philippians 1:6. It said, being confident of this very thing, that he which had begun a good work in you will perform it until the day of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Okay? And we always get it. Let's get this word perform. Okay? Let's get it in the Greek.
Strong's G 2005. Epiteleo. Epiteleo.
Epiteleo. And what does it say? It says to bring to an end, to accomplish, to perfect, to execute or make complete. Okay? And that's through Yahweh Shai, because why? That new covenant, we're going to be changed. Let's get it. The sacrifice of actual lambs and, goats and, peace offerings. See, those things, that's why it was a continuous cycle, because they never brought about perfection. But see, Yahweh Shai, under this new covenant, is going to bring about perfection. Let's get Hebrews 8 and 6. It says, but now have he obtained a more excellent, okay? Now have he, hold on, start 5. I started 6. It says, but now have he obtained a more excellent ministry, by how much also he is the mediator of a better covenant, which was established upon better promises. And this is Yahweh Shai. He's the new mediator. Okay? What's that? Let's get that in Timothy. Yep. 1 Timothy 1:5. It says, for there is one power and one mediator between the Most High and men, the man Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Okay? Who gave himself, verse 6, a ransom for all, to be testified in due time. Okay? So that mediator is Yahweh Shai. All right? He was sacrificed, and resurrected and brought back, to the right hand to mediate. Okay? To be that high priest after order of Melchizedek. Now, let's go back to Hebrews 8. And it says, for if that first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second. For finding fault with them, he said, behold, the days come, said the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. And Yahweh Shai was the sacrifice, okay, that was going to solidify that new covenant. Okay? And we're not in the new covenant until we're changed. Right now, there's a grace period where we can rehearse the righteous acts without, the penalty of the law, okay, being, administered to the T. Because, Jake still get jacked up for particular things, all right? but it's not ministered unto the T, or no flesh, no Israelite would be on earth. If that law was ministered, to the to the farthest extent, every jot, every tittle, we'll be through. Yahweh Shai created a grace period for us to rehearse the righteous acts, man. All right, not just out of fear, but because it's the right thing to do. Not out of fear. If being stoned is the only thing keeping you from committing adultery, then Yahweh Shai not dealing. See, Yahweh Shai, now we understand, like, no, I wouldn't want to do my brother like that. Even if it's someone that's not in the truth, like, nah, that's that man's possession. That's his legacy. That's off. Okay? And that's just one example, man. All right? But that comes through what? Yahweh Shai creates that way of thinking, man. It said, for if that first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second. For finding fault with them, he said, behold, the days come, said the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. And the fault was with us. That's why we're going to be changed, not the laws. Okay? Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, said the Lord. For this is a covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a power, and they shall be to me a people, and they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord, for all shall know me, from the least to the greatest, perfected. Okay? Through Yahweh Shai. Those old sacrifices would have never brought this about. Okay? But this lamb, Yahweh Shai, brought about immortality, man. So that was the point. All right? It's so much more, we can go into it, but for time's sake, it's pretty much the point, hit the major points. All right? And as we in this, spirit, reverencing Yahweh Shai, hey, that was a hell of a lamb, So Lord, will you brothers and you few sisters were edified. Once again, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. All right, double honors to the apostles and elders, GMS, who rule well, teach well, be a great example to us younger brothers, and peace and blessing salutations to the hopeful elect. All right, we're going to keep putting curses on this place as well, man. Oh, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Shalak, Rayon, Why Nashim, Why Bayim, Why Haragyum, Why Mashapayum, My Call, Woman, Why Gawayon, Why Yab, Yon, Why, Babakashah, 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 the Wadi, Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh Shai, to Wab, Yad.